What's up everyone, and welcome to Jayconomics. My name is Jay and it's a pleasure to meet all of you. On this channel, we take a look at anything related to finance with a strong focus on investing. So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, then please consider subscribing and liking this video to help me on my quest to befriend the big, bad YouTube algorithm. Well, that didn't go according to the plan, now did it? As we all know, Hyliion's IPO did not exactly take this stock to the moon as most people were expecting it to. And I think this is precisely where I, and most other people, went wrong. We were all greedy, too greedy. And we all got too complacent in an echo chamber thinking the exact same thing. This is never good. Usually when the majority of investors are calling something easy money, that's because it's usually not. Now for me, it doesn't make a massive difference as I bought my warrants very early on, and even after averaging up, I still maintain an average cost of under $11. But for some people who bought at the peak hype, this stings. My plan initially was to sell at least 50% of my warrants post-merger and exercise the rest. So unless some massive news is dropped and the stock goes crazy again, it surely looks like that ship has sailed. To think that I was once up over $9,000 on this position is a tough pill to swallow right now. Warrants actually dipped below my cost basis for a very short time, and now they are back up to the $13 range. So I've lost almost $8,000 in paper profits due to greed and complacency. I could think of this in a negative light, of course, but as with anything in life, seeking out the positives in a sea of red is always more helpful. I'm looking at this as a wake-up call and a fantastic lesson to be learned. All that being said, because I know exactly what Hyliion is as a company and I understand that what I'm holding is a gold mine in the future, I never once panicked on the way down because I know that nothing has changed fundamentally with the company. Of course, it's still a real bummer for the short term, but it's a great lesson I will remember dearly, and I will never make the same mistake again. Now, before we continue, I just wanted to say a big thank you and a big shout out to all my Jayconomics family as we've hit the massive milestone I never thought we'd hit so quickly, 5,000 subscribers. So I'm just honestly very humbled and grateful for your support. And to show that gratitude, I'll be doing a 5K subscribers thank you video where I'm going to be answering your questions. So if you do have any questions for your boy Jay, then just comment below and I'll be answering as many questions as I can in the next video. Also, I created a free Discord server for all of you guys to join, so be sure to join the Smart Money Squad. The link is in the description below. Alright guys, so make that thumbs up turn blue and subscribe if you're new. It really does help the channel grow. And now without further ado, let's get back into the content. So something else I'd like to really point out here is that if you've watched my Hyliion videos in the past, then you know that I was preaching warrants from the start. And this type of nightmarish scenario is exactly why you should not do call options based on one major catalyst. This was a prime example of selling the news. Now I may have lost paper profits for the time being, but I haven't lost any money. Now a lot of people unfortunately cannot say the same. So just keep that in mind next time, and if you really want to play some options, then you should probably look for undervalued, in the money, and long-term options rather than short-term, out of the money based on one catalyst, right? Because then something like what just happened with Shell could happen to you again. So just be careful with that. Now, based on what I've seen with the Graph and Shill mergers as of late, as well as the extreme volatility SPACs have seen, these are my takeaways on SPAC investing that I would like to share with all of you. So number one, get in early. Now I can't stress this one enough. My trick? Set up Google alerts for all SPACs with no targets so that you get alerted right away. Check SEC filings daily. Sign up for our free Discord. Follow companies on Twitter. Give yourself the best chance of being ahead of the pack, because if you're ahead of the pack on the right SPAC, you're going to make a significant return. Rule number 2, do not buy overpriced warrants before the SPAC has chosen a target. IPOC. Needless to say, the market did not like Chamath's choice on that one with Clover Health, and neither did I, honestly. This is another healthcare no hype play, kind of like Multiplan, but except with shady management, an unproven track record. And so this is definitely not where I want my money for the next few months. And so I sold at a small loss and I moved on. And so I will never make that same mistake again. Number 3, buy warrants if they are undervalued and, depending on the company, even if they are overvalued, because gains will be higher when the stock shoots up one day for no apparent reason. If the stock has a cult following, you'll be very happy that you own those warrants. Number 4, avoid slow growth companies or companies with debt. Now, these companies will often do poorly, especially right after the merger. UTC Brands is an exception, but the majority of these companies are bad investing options in my opinion. Number 5, management is key. All right, so shady management is common in this business, and so picking the right management is crucial. Number 6, buy units of well-managed SPACs on IPO day. Once the shares and warrants are split, choose to either sell if you don't really like the target or buy more warrants for cheap. Number 7, get comfortable with volatility. Become best friends with it, actually. SPACs are a lot more volatile than the rest of the market, and so if you're not comfortable with this fact, then you should not be investing in SPACs. Last but not least, number 8, take advantage of volatility in these high-quality SPACs and buy the dips, as these are very likely to rebound in a big way. Now let's take a look at a few SPACs I'm watching closely this week and potentially buying. First one is Chargepoint, SBE. So this is a company that was featured in my last video that I just released yesterday, which is the top 3 growth stocks for September 2020. So if you want a full overview on them, then be sure to check that out. EV infrastructure, market leader, strong growth. I really do like this play. I'm looking to get in if we see maybe like a dip under 14 or 14.50 for shares, and I would like to see somewhere under 4 for the warrants. Our 52-week high is $16.45. Definitely one that I'm watching closely, but I will not chase it up. Number 2 is Skillz, and Skillz is another company that was featured in that video as well. So again, if you want more of an overview, then be sure to check that video out. I did my DD on this company last week, and I think this is massively undervalued for what this company can do in the future. Niche market, competitive moat, very impressive revenue numbers, a massively barely tapped into opportunity outside of North America. Esports as an industry is just getting more and more popular, and so this is something I'm very bullish on. Our 52-week high is $14.70 for this company. And so this company is a buy in my opinion, and I'm looking to start building a position here slowly as time goes on. Third one is DPHC, Lordstown Motors. So the merger vote day was announced last week, and it will be held on October 22nd. Now, DPHC has had a lot less time in the market than Hyliion. Its peak, though, was $31.80 and not around $58 like Shell. And I'm really interested in seeing how the market's going to react to the workhorse contract news, whether it comes or doesn't, whether it's good or bad, and then the eventual ticker change when that becomes official. So I'm keeping a very close eye on this stock. Originally, I did buy 125 warrants at $2.98, but I did sell 25 of those warrants at $13 a piece. So I still got 100 left. I'm unsure as to whether I'm going to add or not. At this point, we would have to see like a really, really big dip for me to add, I think. FMCI, the merger vote is this Thursday, the 15th. Very bullish on the future of this company long term, although right now it is trading at a premium. I do think warrants under $8 is the play here, pre or post merger. Our 52-week high for this one is $28.64. It's definitely on my watch list and a company that I will strongly consider getting a long position in the next few months at the right price though, so not right now. Last but not least, we have Hyliion. Let's just talk a little bit about Hyliion. So this was my top SPAC and still is for multiple reasons over the long term. That being said, these past few weeks have been very disappointing, of course, as everybody already knows. And, but it's not all that surprising when you take a step back and really kind of see what went on. Warrants are currently in the $13 range. And I did just buy more of these this past week at around $11 when it dipped. So, if I were to exercise my warrants, my average cost would actually be only $22.50. And so that is definitely a price that I'm very comfortable holding Hyliion for long term. The only way I'll be adding more is if warrants dip under $10, which, at this point, who knows? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. If that happens, then I will add more. Looking forward to hearing, any news whatsoever, though, from the management team. Hopefully they get their marketing game, stepped up a little bit. Because, as much as I love Thomas Healy, their marketing has not been very good so far. So here's to hoping we consolidate here for a little while, as it seems that we are. And hopefully we can prepare for a nice move to the upside. So that wraps it up for today's episode of Weekly SPACs. Let me know in the comments below if you're invested into any of these companies or if you are planning on investing into one of them. What is your position sizing? Please do let me know in the comments. And again, if you have any questions or things you want to say or things you want to ask me for the next 5K subscriber video, be sure to leave that in the comments below. And guys, if this video brought you some value, then please smash that like button for me, as it really does help the channel a lot. And if you want more content like this, then don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell to be notified when any video comes out. And of course, last thing, please feel free to join our Smart Money Discord server. It's free and we've got a great growing community in there. So until next time, take care and invest smart.